What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Sunshine State Outdoors episode. My name's Wade. I'm going to take you guys through a quick tutorial on how to build a duck blind, specifically a duck blind for a boat. Now, there's some modifications you may have to do for your boat, and I'll kind of go over those. I'm not going to show you guys every single step, but I'll talk you guys through every single step that went on to getting this blind built. Now, I made this side yesterday just to kind of show you guys what the end product will look like. But we'll take you guys to the other side of the boat and we'll show you guys how to assemble it and all the parts that you guys need. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Hit that like and subscribe button. Kill him. Okay, so I'm gonna go over first the frame and how I built that and got that put together, and then I'll go over the netting and then the grass, how we're gonna attach that. So first things first, you're gonna need a T-rail. Well, you don't need one, but it's helpful. So my boat came with a T-rail system in it. It's an Uncle J, it's a 1748, and I really wanted a T-rail so I didn't have to drill into my boat. Now, other options is you can drill into your boat, or when it comes to attaching the blind to your boat, you can get like C-clamps and do the same exact thing, except C-clamp it onto the side of your boat. So I have this piece of metal here, and I'll go over every single part. This piece of metal is a 1 inch by originally 96 inches aluminum square tubing. I got this at Home Depot. And in the description, I'll put every single part that I used. So I got that and ran it all the way across the boat. The reason is so that I can attach my blind so it has a pivot point on it. Now, I'll show you guys attaching it to this. I have it attached to my T-rail system, and what I did there is, I believe it's WRC or WRJ Customs. They build these blind attachments for like T-rail systems. So I flipped mine, normally it sticks out flat like this. I flipped mine upside down and put a piece of angled aluminum on it so that I can have access to my storage latches. And then I ran this piece of tubing all the way across, and so that I can attach my frame to it. So the next part of the blind setup, or one of the most important parts, is gonna be your frame. So the frame is made out of Schedule 40 1-inch tubing, and I actually had it welded. I had it welded to a 90-degree angle. I originally wanted to get it bent. Finding somebody to bend 1-inch tubing is very difficult because most people only bend larger diameter tubing, and then it was very expensive. Now, to get it welded, it only cost me about 40 bucks. I found a local in Florida. We actually have Everbilt shops all over the place. So I found a local Everbilt shop, and they did it in like 10 minutes and just cut it and weld it really quickly. So each of the long parts is gonna have to be adapted probably for your boat. So will like the short ends. The long ends for mine are both 5 foot long. Now, I wish I could tell you what size this tubing was up here, but I had taken just whatever the aluminum shop had. They had smaller tubing that fit perfectly inside of this Schedule 40. So maybe if you go and pick up it at a shop, just ask them for whatever that exact tubing is that can fit into that. And then I just put some JB Weld in it and stuck it in there so that I can break it apart and it's smaller storage over the summer. So we're gonna attach this to the boat. First thing, you gotta take your short end, slide it down here. All for your tubing to connect to your 1-inch pipe, I have 2.5-inch hex bolts, and then just a washer and a nut, so you're gonna need those. Hop in here. I actually bent my bolt on here, so stand by. There we go. like 90% of the stuff on here you can get at Home Depot. On the front end, it's the same thing. You're just gonna have this 1-inch tubing and you're gonna run it across so that you have a pivot point for your main frame. Now, in order to get these holes in this round tubing, the best thing to do is honestly have a drill press. You can probably rent one from Home Depot. I have a family member that has one, so I just took it over to his house and I held it upright and he just punched a hole in it, and it was super easy, super simple. With a hand drill, it might be a little bit more difficult to get it perfect. It is doable, but that's the one actual big tool that you'll need, because the metal shop is going to be able to cut your tubing, either tubing that you have, and then you're going to want to take it to get it welded, unless you can weld it by yourself. Now, you can build this frame out of pretty much anything that you want. You can build it out of conduit or PVC. I went with the Schedule 40 tubing just because I wanted something that was going to last, that was super strong and super durable. But if you want to go out on a budget, PVC or conduit is going to be super easy as well to work with. I've done it in the past. I've had a lot of them actually made out of metal conduit, but they all bend and break and after like 2 or 3 seasons. So I'd recommend just going with something that's going to last. Get the Schedule 40. And then we're just going to go ahead and attach this other end. So like I said, I made this little coupling so that it can just slide on in there. And then it's just one solid piece from there. And then you're going to do the same thing on this side. Personally, I like to make sure that my bolt is facing inside the boat, just on the off chance that it does come loose. You wouldn't lose your bolt, you would only use your nut and washer. Because to be honest, I don't tighten it all the way down. Now, the proper thing to do would be to get a plastic gasket and have it on the inside of this so that it can slide freely, but I couldn't find a plastic gasket at any Lowe's, Home Depot, or Ace Hardware. They didn't have any, which was kind of weird to me. But then that's your frame. So it's super simple. Mine kind of gets stuck on this little backside. There's a bolt there that it gets stuck on. But it's just gonna come up. Next thing that we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how to attach the netting. So I'll get this all propped up and then we'll get back to you guys in a second. So the next part is going to be attaching this plastic netting to your boat. Now, the best way to do it is by running a piece of PVC pipe on the inside. Since I have a T-reel system, I was able to just put 4 bolts down the side, 4 1.5 inch or 2.5 inch. No, it's 1.5. 4 1.5 inch bolts with nuts just all the way down the side of the boat on the T-rail. Now, if you don't have that, they do make little zip tie attachments that you can drill into your boat if you want to do that. And you can zip tie a piece of PVC all the way down. Now, if you don't want to drill on your boat, this part's really not that necessary. It's not, I mean, it helps a lot, but I would attach it at least to like the bottom of this side of your frame, that your square tubing that runs across, and then I would attach it to the opposite square tubing at the bottom at bare minimum, because it really helps with standing up your blind. Once you get it all tied up like this is how you're going to attach it. You're going to have a piece of rope going across on each end, and then because that this plastic material is going to be attached down here, it's going to pull it tight and allowing it to stand up. Now, if you don't have it attached here, you're going to have to do something to prop these up. Like, I don't know if you guys can see back there, I have a piece of wood that is holding up that side just for right now. You can put a piece of wood or a piece of PVC on each side just to kind of prop it up while you're hunting, and that's an option if you don't want to drill in your boat, because honestly, I hate drilling into my boat, so that's why I got this T-rail system. But I'm gonna go ahead and start attaching it. You're just gonna want a little bit, you're gonna want it to, so that it hangs off one end. You're just gonna wanna get one end started, and then we're gonna move on to the opposite side. You're just gonna feed these zip ties, and you're gonna wanna get a lot of zip ties. This is all, these are all 10-inch or 11-inch zip ties, and get black, don't get white. And you're gonna wanna have at least like 100 pack of these. So we're gonna zip tie it to one side, and then we're gonna move to the other side and do the same thing. This roll of material is just plastic chicken netting. It is 3 foot. It's either 3 foot or 2.5 foot. You can get it at either, by 25 feet. And for my 17-foot boat, which I basically have a 10-foot inside that I'm covering, that one roll cut in half is the exact perfect length. It is kind of expensive, and like it's like $40 a roll. So that's the only reason I only got one roll. But if you get 2 rolls, then you can kind of go farther past the front of your boat, and you can add more grass and stuff. But for what I'm doing, we're just gonna cut palm fronds every time. We do it anyways. And we're gonna have them laid over the top, and we're gonna have some palm fronds on the front deck to help finish covering up the boat. But we're gonna get this zip tie, and then we'll show you guys attaching it to here, and then we'll show you guys getting the mat attached. Got it zip tied on the one side. You're not going to want to cut it. Some people might think, oh, well, I need to cut it because it gets shorter kind of in the front. I wouldn't cut it at all. I would just keep it its normal length. And you're just going to want to zip tie one end to your PVC pipe down there, and your other end is going to get zip tied to the top up here. We're going to go ahead and get that knocked out, and then we're going to move on to getting the grass on there. So when it's all said and done, before you put your grass on, this is what it's gonna look like. You see how I have it tied up here? That, because this netting is tight onto this, the PVC, that's what allows you to just tie it up top, and it's gonna stay put. It's not gonna move. And then just to let it down, all you're gonna do is you're gonna pull the string, undo the knot, and it's gonna fall down. Now there's options that can make it easier. They have little cams that have paracord attached to it, and that's honestly what I'm probably gonna do. I just couldn't find any. I have some ordered on Amazon that I'm just waiting on them to come in. But they make little cams that you could just undo the string and it just falls down, and then you tighten the string and it comes back up. So I'm gonna end up running to one of those on each end. But that's pretty much the gist of it, and we're gonna go ahead and attach the grass, and I'll show you guys how we do that. And it's pretty much just a bunch of zip ties. But it's a really easy blind, so we're just gonna attach the grass, and then we'll be ready to hunt. So there's a ton of different options when it comes to attaching stuff to your netting. You can of course do natural brush if that's what you want to do. You can get raffia grass to attach to that. That's pretty expensive. They have synthetic grass, which is pretty cool, and I'll probably end up getting down the road. But for right now, what I'm doing is I'm just doing blind grass that is already in just sheets. They come in 4x4 sheets. This is from Higdon Outdoors, and I've used them in the past. It's fine. It lasts probably about 2 seasons, and then once it kind of gets wet, then you're going to toss it because it starts getting mold on it. But it does the job. It makes it through your season, and they're not super expensive. I think for 2 packs I paid $100, which isn't too bad compared to everything else out there. But I'm gonna go ahead and unbox these, get these out of the box, and then we'll show you guys how to hang them up. Pretty much like the beginning is the most important part, and then it all just falls into place. So get back to you guys. So like I said, the beginning of getting the grass on is gonna be the most important part. A lot of people will have it hang down just to cover the side of the boat. If you think about it, a duck is not flying like this on the water most of the time. Look, they don't care about the side of your boat. You're just trying to, the whole goal with the blind is breaking up an object and kind of trying to blend in with the surrounding. You want it on your boat to ride so that this grass, at least the majority of it, is never going to touch the water. So you're going to have it a little higher up, and you're going to want to have it come over the top, and so that this stuff flares up. If you do it the other way, it won't really flare up as much. So you're going to want to put the top of the grass mat up and over the top, have it flare up. Now this part, you're going to want to wrap a little bit of this around the back and have it come over so that it kind of covers the back of your blind a little bit. And it's just, on my boat, I have a hunt deck, so you want it just barely coming up on the hunt deck. I like that. Pull it up just a little bit. And then once you get this first piece done, then it all becomes a lot easier to do the rest. And it's really simple. You're just taking your zip tie. There's little weaves in here, so you're gonna run it through your weave of grass and tie it down. And once you get this first zip tie down, then you can stretch it just a slight. You're gonna stretch it slightly up top. Make sure it's kind of down a little bit. And you're gonna zip tie it to your netting, like so. And that's pretty much how you're gonna install the grass. You're gonna end up zip tying this on the top. The parts that fold on the inside of the boat, you're gonna zip tie that. You're gonna get on the inside of the boat, zip tie that into the netting as well so that it's not sticking out. We'll kind of show you guys that real quick. See how I have it zip tied like that? On that side, it sticks out just slightly more, so that'll kind of give you more room inside the boat, and it's not all up on you. But we're gonna go ahead and get this all zip tied down, show you guys what the end product looks like. And I mean, like I said, guys, it's really simple. So stay tuned to see the end product. All right, guys, so that's it. That's the gist of it. This is the inside of the blind. As you can see, it fluffs over the top so that when you're sitting here, it's kind of all up on you. And then we're gonna have some palm fronds that we lay across for extra coverage up top. But I just want to show you guys this blind. It's honestly so easy. There's a bunch of companies that sell blinds similar, but doing it yourself is gonna save you a few $100s. So that's kind of why I made this video. This blind's gonna last you for however long you want to use it. The grass you're gonna have to replace unless you end up with like synthetic grass. The main thing is, like, if it does get wet, I would just leave your boat out in the sun with the blind up to let it dry. But that's kind of all I got for you guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hopefully you guys are killing more ducks than us. See you guys on the next one.